I'm going to insert some here that I've got scripted just because I want to get the ones that I've scripted out of the way. Getting your order wrong.
Yeah.
Food service is not easy. Everyone knows this. No one is out of the loop on the fact that working in a restaurant is a stressful, taxing, demoralizing job with the worst pay that you can have. That is why the experience of having an order handed to you and finding it incomplete or altogether incorrect is not that big of a deal once in a while. Everyone makes a mistake on occasion, but it's when your order is wrong nearly every time that it becomes bothersome. I was willing to forgive you for neglecting to include my soda in the delivery the first few times, but now it's been 7 straight drinkless orders, and you can't use the excuse that it's the delivery driver stealing the drink because it's been 7 different drivers. And don't think I haven't drawn a correlation between the fact that every time I've been in your restaurant, there's 6 of you leaning up talking while a single employee struggles for 20 minutes to finish a 2-minute order. I would usually go very easy on a first world gripe like this, but on behalf of that poor soul trying to do his best in a job with a workplace surrounded by blabbermouthed boat anchors, I'm not going to give it an S tier. It's going to go lower than that, just out of respect for that man's struggle.
I think it's situational depending on the restaurant and who they have working there. I noticed like uh, big conglomerates, some people in there who really, really care about their jobs and really, really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say at least, and I'm giving them a great leeway here. Probably about 75% of those of the people there just don't care. They're there for a paycheck, and they're not. They don't care what goes into the quality or anything like that. And they'll screw up, and they just don't care.
I guess
I
it's kind
mean,
of set up for failure either way because who honestly has a passion and a drive for handing somebody a meal bag? You know?
it's not the drive for that. It's the drive to be a a cook or into the food industry. It's kind of getting your foot in the door. And if you're trying to do that, I give you 100% respect trying to get into that way and doing that. It's a hard business. It's a hard business to break into for upper echelon restaurants. But so you got to start somewhere. And those guys that are just grinding and grinding and grinding, I'll give them props all day long. But the
Right.
guys that are there, like I said, they don't care. They're just talking in the background. They're not paying attention. They don't belong there.
It's pretty irritating, but DoorDash is pretty nice about it because you can get refunds
Right.
or you can get support pretty quick. Typically,
Hey,
if they get my order wrong out in a restaurant too, it's pretty much not on me. Fast food is different though. I'd say fast food isn't even, it's a different category. Fast food getting it wrong, they don't usually care.
Yeah.
But
right.
a
The
decent
worst
restaurant, it's they give you some kind of support.
the worst offender I've ever seen and the worst experience I've ever had with somebody getting an order wrong wasn't even my order. I was at a Popeyes. The most obnoxious employees. Not only did they have music playing back in the back that you could hear from the front counter, but also there was this one old guy with a suit and tie. He couldn't have been like any younger than 70. And he was just trying to get his order from Popeyes. And I mean, everybody, Popeyes is a meme. They're a terrible restaurant. Everybody knows this. And I'll say it. It's a meme that everybody hates Popeyes. But this Popeyes was different in that the dude walked back up to the counter, was like, whatever this and this and that and the other thing isn't here. And the guy behind the counter threatened him.
What?
Oh, he was going to run his fade over some chicken, dude. I thought he was going to jump over the counter at him.
I've run into that at Popeyes before, but it was through the drive-through. Me and my wife. My wife wanted something when she was pregnant, and we went through, and the guy was really nice over the thing. I pull up, he looks at me, and realizes that I'm not the same. I'm not the same race as him, and he just went off on me. What are you doing in this park? What are you doing in here? You shouldn't be here. This isn't your. And I'm like, what?
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
excuse me?
He's going to pull you up into the window.
As far as I know, everybody in the human race likes chicken. Just give me my order and let me go, dude. You want to be racist? Go somewhere else. See, I thought when you said the fast food stuff, you were gonna say the Baconator when you didn't.
Oh, I was at a call with you whenever I went to Wendy's that day.
Yeah, when
Good grief.
they pretty much gave you a bun and went, here you go.
I was expecting mushrooms, at least some bacon. Like that was absolutely dreadful. For getting your order wrong, I would put this in an A tier. I will not put it in an S tier because oftentimes the issues that you have in a restaurant are due to one person who's trying their best and like 10 other people who just don't care.
Right.
So I would put this in an A tier if it was me.
I agree.
Harley?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. The person in line in front of me. I don't like to brag. And although I'm not, it sure sounds like I am when I say that I have no trouble paying for groceries. My card never gets declined. And even if it did, I have enough cash on me when I go to the store to cover things just in case. What I've noticed over the last dozen or so trips to get milk and watermelons is that no one else on Earth seems to have that luxury. Whether I'm shopping at the Happily Dappily Days Quick Mart or Victoria's Super Sneakrit, no matter if there's 7 people in line before me or only one, someone will have an issue that requires nearly half an hour of re-swiping cards, re-entering PIN numbers, calling managers for overrides, internet being slow, overrides not being accepted, taking items back to the shelves, and oh, but we have a coupon to truly make this a party. All the while, the cold jug of milk is freezing my fingers into shriveled purple sticks, and I can't set them on the runner because Cynthia still has 24 items to scan, and all the other registers are closed, and there's 5 employees hitting the gritty in the break room while the lady in line behind me is begging her child to stop screaming himself hoarse, and I need to pee, but if I leave my spot in line, I'll never make it out alive, so I pull out my Bluetooth earbuds because if I could just listen to some ASMR windshield wiper videos, then maybe God might grant me the serenity to see this through to the end, but the battery's dead, and now here comes another manager.
I think that's you.
You think that's me? You think it's only me?
I just switched lines. I go to a shorter line, go to the self checkout. I don't sit there
No,
and wait.
I'm committed now. I'm too in deep. I won't go somewhere else. It's a fight now. I have to show him why. So yeah, I'm passionate about this. I don't like that it seems like no matter what, the person in front of me will take an inordinately long amount of time to get out of the way. They will have constant problems, and they will swipe the card. Nah, didn't take it. Swipe again? Nah, didn't take it. Well, what if I put a plastic bag over it? Will it swipe it then? They have no other payment option. They don't have like an e-wallet. They don't have another card. God forbid they carry dollar bills. Like it's always an absolute catastrophe for this person because they only have one way of paying for the thing. Also, you talk about going to another line. Well, I don't know if you've been to Walmart recently, but the Walmart here, they have 30 checkout lanes and only two of them are ever open because those 30 checkout lanes were put there back in the 90s whenever that building was built, back whenever they actually had 30 cashiers because people had jobs back then.
And then you can't go use the self checkout line in Walmart because you're not part of the Walmart club, and you have to pay to use the self checkout lines now.
A Walmart club.
I'm not kidding. It's $100 a year that you have to pay to use their self checkout lines now.
What in the world?
I need you to pay me to check yourself out. And the next thing's going to be, they're going to pay you to stock their shelves.
What would y'all put people in line in front of you at checkout counters in? Because if left to my own devices, I know what I would put it in, but y'all both seem to think that this is not that big of a deal. So where would you put it?
Well, I haven't said anything.
Okay, what is your opinion of it then?
Of everything that we've covered so far, I'd say it's not too bad. You're there because you have time, typically. So,
gotcha. I'm going to put it in B, specifically because there was one extreme instance where I really needed to use the bathroom. And so I waited in line for 10 minutes, and I just had to set my stuff down and go, and when I got back, my stuff was gone.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I hate that. Warm pillows. So, it is a known quantity that a human cannot sleep whenever it's too warm. And you have a very high propensity for having nightmares if you sleep in a warm environment. If your head or your feet are too warm, you have a high chance of either waking up with a headache or having a nightmare. I could fall asleep anywhere. I've fallen asleep on a 12-inch round air duct up in an attic for 5 hours once without rolling off of the duct.
I think it's annoying in the summertime, but as I live in the north and I've got snow in the wintertime, I don't mind a warm pillow at night.
Okay. So you don't want the cold side of a pillow whenever you're trying to sleep up in the up in the Appalachians.
And no, not during the winter. During the summer, it's very annoying, and I don't want it. It depends on the time of year.
I would put it in S because I don't have that big of a deal with it. And Zindy would probably, where would you put it, Zindy?
That's just mid.
Mid, so B.
Yeah.
Let me find a copyright-free picture of a pillow with fire. Because that's what, I'm not just going to put a picture of pillow. I have to make
you got to get the dude, what's his name, Mike from My Pillow. This picture.
Okay, yep, that's just gonna be his face. My Pillow guy. I like how whenever I type the letter M, the My Pillow guy is what autofills. Thank you, Google, for listening.
And you know what's gonna be really funny is if somebody comes and looks at this at the end of the live stream, and with no context, they're looking
They
at
just see his face. It's like they don't like the My Pillow guy. Let me put him right here next to me. This is the only time that he and I have ever been this close. There we go. All right, so it's going in A.
Oh, he's big.
Stupid Windows errors. Okay. We're starting to get suggestions from other people. I do request that anybody that has something that is actually suitable for both platforms does suggest things. So Windows errors. So
Can you use Bill Gates as a Windows dude?
Bill Gates, I could put him in there. But no, I just want to use the Windows symbol because then I don't want this entire list to be full of faces. Like
That's true.
the My Pillow guy is a good idea, but
That would be funny to see a bunch of faces on here. Like, what is that?
like the most annoying people in life tier list. Good lord, that would get incendiary so fast if we started ranking like individuals. Oh, I would never.
I guess you're right. You have to use Windows because if you put Bill Gates, he's all Microsoft, so you don't want to go that.
Right. So for those who are just joining, the way we've got this set up is it's a backwards tier list because we're ranking negative items. So the worst, which is F tier, is at the top. So F, C, B, A, S. And instead of putting letters like every other one's, screaming babies in a plane, we do have screaming babies on here, and it's the next item. So keep that on your mind. Windows 10 has been pretty stable for the most part. I really don't have very many errors with Windows.
Yeah, I got 11 and it's stable. It seems pretty stable. I will say that back in the day, because I was a hardware tech for computers years and years ago, the most annoying thing was when you had incompatible RAM and you get the blue screen of death.
Harley?
I'm eating chips.
would you like to put that on the annoying things tier list?
It might be annoying to some. Hey, you know what?
What?
My old PC. I don't know if you remember, dude, but my PC would crash almost every other day, if not every day.
That's
sometimes multiple
last
times.
Year, yeah, that's been a while back, but I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Because I had a bad hard drive, I think. I replaced almost everything in the damn PC and it was still bad, so I think it was the hard drive. But that was the most irritating thing I've ever had to deal with. For like a year straight, I was fighting with it, trying to get it to at least function properly. Sometimes it would load great, everything was fine, and then other times it wouldn't start for the entire day. Because every time I started up, it would blue screen on the fucking lock screen. On the, like, before you even logged in, it would blue screen. And I was like, what is causing this, you know?
Yeah, it's really bad whenever it doesn't seem to have a purpose. Whenever you don't know what's causing it, so you don't know what to mitigate.
Like, you'd look up the blue screen error code or whatever, and it would just tell you the same thing every time, and it's just no help.
When your poop is stuck, we're not putting that on the list. I can't put a picture of your poop being stuck on the tier list. Kai, come on, man. You gotta tighten up here. We got a long stream ahead of us. What are y'all thinking? Maybe B?
I just fix it, so it doesn't matter.
You just
I fixed my problem.
All right, Mr. Tech Support Guy. All right, so I'll put it in B because of the times whenever you just don't know.
I would put it next to Mike there.
You would put it next to him. My Pillow Man gets set on the same level.
Windows and Mike, yeah, they're on the same level.
Above F? Okay. All right.
Well, Mike's down below, so.
Yeah. Well, so we'll put the Windows errors up there at F because we can't go any higher than F, and because we have some very strong opinions about this situation, and I sympathize with that. So this will go in F. Screaming children, here we go. All right, the page goes as thusly. Everyone has at some point heard a child. Maybe you didn't see them, but you definitely detected the verbal explosions those things are capable of unleashing on the unsuspecting public. And to put it bluntly, no one with an IQ higher than the kids blames them for it. You aren't required to complete a tutorial level before you can be born. No one instinctually knows at that age that RPing as a tornado siren is disruptive. And generally, I don't blame the parents either. They can't just wave a magic wand and voila, their offspring is just suddenly sashaying around in a top hat, removing their monocle as they perform a sweeping bow at the elderly onlookers. Learning how to appropriately interface within a civilized society is a slow process, cramming millennia of behavioral conditioning into a default factory settings brain that only knows how to eat, sleep, and scream, and is perfectly content with that system. The only time this becomes a serious grievance is when it is obvious that the parent is entirely disconnected from the needs of their baby, opting to utterly ignore its cries and allow the innocent surrounding populace to be blasted with shrieking unimpeded. This is an unforgivable negligence not just of public decency, but of the care and development of the new and naive human depending on them for their present and future well-being. So neglectful parents get an F tier. Now I need to make a picture for screaming babies, and because I don't think I am allowed to have babies on a YouTube video, I'm just going to have to do this.
Look at the pacifier.
Let's see. I need to get ready for print screen. Hang on.
Like a pacifier with a teardrop or something.
There. I'm a genius.
You're not allowed to use my picture.
All right. Screaming babies is just me with my mouth wide open.
Nice.
Where are we putting screaming babies? S, F, F,
If you can't
Not
quiet them
the
down,
right
then yes, I would say F.
F. We've got kind of a wide range here because Mimbu is saying S and everybody else is saying F. Volti's saying F.
Hey, can I make a suggestion for the most annoying thing in the world?
What?
Your tier list.
Man, come on now. I did this very carefully. This is a good idea.
You're confusing the crap out of everyone.
All right, I'm going to put this because I think most people, whenever they think of screaming babies, think of just generally terrible emotions and wanting them to stop. This picture, by the way, I've got to tell you, this is one of my magnum opus. That goes in F, but it is.
Babies
F.
crying in movie theaters in particular are awful. Why would you bring your baby to the movie theater, first off? And then just completely being unable to calm them down, also.